All right, you guys, we are here, and I finally figured out how to record with this horizontal camera. So, here, what the hell? Oh, I think it's saying that I didn't turn off the. Let's find out what in the hell's going on, you guys. If it's crazy, I mean, couldn't be more crazy than what we've been getting, right? All these false BOMB threats and all of this stuff, you guys. Here is Hollywood. Hi, Not That Helen. Shout out to our wonderful moderator, Not That Helen, you guys. Let's see what in the hell is going on inside of the Christie's Hotel. Christie's Hotel, you guys. Don't get it twisted. Don't buy the pitch that they're not hotels, because everyone can Google the address of this place to literally find out that it's nothing but a hotel, a vintage hotel. Isn't that, guys? Say hi to the runners, you guys. It's a fancy little apartment building here, and we are on our way to find out what in the literal hell is going on. What's that, Cinderella? Noise complaints earlier. Don't rush. Yeah. Well, the kids are getting a little rowdy. I did see that too, you guys. They're getting a little annoyed um, at the Scientologists. And there's a lot of movement that I can see from here. So here you guys can see the Christie Hotel. So it is a it is a hotel chain. It's a cult run out of hotels where people have paid memberships to the hotel. So it would be great for Scientology to explain to us why people are checking into a hotel to really be serviced by minors. And let's see who's here. Something's going on over there, you guys. let's let's keep it moving. Let's get to the actual location. Hi, IMF. How are you? Hi, Stacy. What's up? Good to see you. Let's see. Oh, look, here's Audit LA, you guys.
Okay, Judy, you're in. Hi.
Hi, good to see you.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
How you been? I loved your live today. I caught
Did
as
you
much
check
as if
it?
I could.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
had to
went
go.
long.
No, I know. I would have loved to have stayed longer.
Yeah.
Catch him on what's your? It's Serge Delmar on YouTube. He does this
At
live.
literally Surge. At literally Surge.
Over there too on YouTube.
Yeah, it's called At Literally Surge.
There you go, guys.
Yeah.
You have to follow him. He does his lives, and they're really, really informative. And I'll tell you, it was him and Lara that really helped inspire me to even like, really understand the focus on the kids. Like I didn't even realize how. What like you like it's all your face. I told them. Can you like explain that too? Like how like we really need to because like for a while I was getting about angels. You know, can you help us redirect our attention to what it's really about?
Yeah, I mean, it's very simple. Kids get lured into these hotels. They get told that they are adults, that they're not kids, especially when your teenagers are very like susceptible to that level of grooming. So they adulticize the kids, and then everyone inside of these hotels and commercial buildings acts like they're not kids. They're not the age that they actually are. Um, our passports were confiscated when we signed a billion-year contract. I didn't have my passport in my personal possession for the close to 10 years that I was locked up myself, my entire formative years at the Fort Harrison Hotel. So it's very important to understand that minors do not have advocates inside of the hotel, and minors don't have advocates outside of the hotels. And that's why it's so important for us that live that reality as kids and have lived to tell, to inform the community and to really actually, you know, that's why in my videos we're doing audits of the media, you guys. The media is very glib, the media is very corrupt. The media has been sanitizing the image of these people so that they can run their scam and their sham. So we're actually contextualizing all the things that the media is not contextualizing, and especially the risk that all minors that get involved run as they get recruited. So we don't care what adults want to do. We literally don't have to concern ourselves with grown adults consenting to do whatever in the hell they want to do. But our focus is on saying kids cannot consent, because the audits in Scientology are hardcore. L. Ron Hubbard was disgusting, convicted, indicted felon that took it upon himself to write all manner of policies that dictate what these role plays are really all about. And the power dynamics inside of these role plays, so-called audits, so-called religious experience, is indefensible. And kids like myself, I was trained to be doing these audits age 12. At age 12, I was put to learn to do these audits and audit adults, audit other kids, and it couldn't be more disgusting what they were having us do. And the fact is that they're still at it right now, recruiting and targeting minors.
So we need to get all kids, anyone not of legal age, out of there.
We need to do that, and we need the police to start explaining us why our passports were locked up.
And why are they allowing, and you say that the parents have to give custody over to the church.
Yes.
So why aren't these kids going to school? Why are they working? Like, if this was if it wasn't a religion and it was like say a garment district, they'd all be in jail. Because you can't have people working 110 hours for $47 a week under 18.
Correct.
So, we have to keep it in that context. They're working. But because they hide saying they're a religion, they get away with stuff that we say that, they'd be in jail.
Correct. The pitch is like, oh, we're volunteers, but volunteers shouldn't have their passports locked up. Like, these are volunteers, you guys. What you see here, this is volunteering. All of these people are here on their own volition. No one's asking us here for our passport. We're willing to go, come, whatever. But really what happens in those hotels is that they really do a number on the kids. They really gaslight them very, very horribly, and it's all very predatory. These are predatory practices. These are not religious practices, what these kids are having inside of these hotels, getting exploited, getting sent out to, get us more money, get us more people inside. And, so we are protesting and we are letting the community know what's going on. And, whether that is going to actually let a child leave these hotels or this experience, probably not. When I was in Florida doing the Lisa McPherson death, which I don't know if you guys know about that, but Lisa McPherson was, a very, very horrible tragedy that took place in the Florida hotels where I was as a minor. So people started protesting, sort of similar to this, over there in Florida over that death. And then they literally just, what up, guys?
I'll have to end the live. It's like, what is going on?
Hi. Oh, she got a little jacket today. Yay.
What's going on? Are you having connective problems?
You know what? Yesterday my life was glitchy, but I don't know. Hello. Good to see you. Hello, hello. You're rocking the swag. Damn.
I love the shirts. They did. The recruiters don't like it.
Oh, they hate
Oh,
it.
they hate it. That's all the more. It's like,
They're in trouble. They're in trouble because merch has been made. What's that?
They closed 2 hours early today.
They're doing it on purpose. They're, yeah. This is crisis management.
why are they not letting me on? They keep bumping me off.
Well, okay, but you're doing TikTok, right?
Yeah.
TikTok is literally in the pocket of the Scientologist. All of your guys' lives are getting knocked because TikTok has very close relationships with the Scientology Celebrity Center and all their actors and their actresses. So they have connections to TikTok and be like, oh, these people are. So that's how your guys' stuff is getting. Yeah, they're jamming you and they're.
It's whenever I'm here. When I'm anywhere else, it doesn't do it.
Correct.
But it's only when I'm here.
Yeah.
But
Hey, what's up?
but see, I can't. I only have like 17 followers on YouTube.
Yeah, but I
So
mean,
I had to get up to how many? 1,000 to go live.
You were recruiting in content.
what's that?
You were recruiting in content.
In content, yeah. I mean, they.
Like those same people from here,
Oh, they shipped them off over there.
like on the street.
Shady.
Set up on the street.
See, guys, very, very shady. They send people.
We're gonna go there to the south side too. I'm gonna go there with Jose and everyone else.
When now?
No.
Oh, okay.
When they start,
When they start doing it, yeah, yeah, yeah.
they disrupt their locations everywhere.
Yeah, every location is getting audited. Every
Just be careful,
location is
Solomon,
getting
'cause I feel like
audited.
they're targeting you because of your age. It feels to.
Well, they
I haven't broken the.
No, I know, but
exactly.
just be on guard.
Hey, good to
Okay,
see
thank
you.
you.
Very cautious. I'm very cautious.
That's
I try
warm.
I know.
I know. If your ears are warmed, then everything is
I'm all
fine.
by myself.
That's what I've learned.
Is this the mama bearing me? Can't help it. I got the mom. Yeah, I might have to go over here more for the Starbucks.
Okay.
I don't like.
I have to figure out how to get enough. I need to get more viewers. I can go do it on YouTube.
Well, but if you just, it's like the thing is like, let's get started. Oh, because you can go, yeah, right? Because you have to have 1,000. No, that's TikTok. I think on YouTube you can go live.
I don't know what the number is.
Okay. Yeah, look into it because it would, especially if you're doing this and people are knowing that you're doing this, then you just direct people. Yeah, because they're gonna keep doing this for you. They're on it. They're on it. They're on it. Talking to TikTok, you guys, to cancel live streams. Does it show up like misinformation or anything? Because like that's what they're showing up
Nothing's
for.
showing up. It's just like it just zaps it.
If anything, that's gonna go viral. More people.
I'm wondering if it's like all the bandwidth. Like maybe everyone's using up a lot of bandwidth here. I thought maybe that was the issue.
No, because we're doing okay right now. Linda, they're in MacArthur Park.
Are you okay with your streaming?
How's the stream, you guys? Can you guys hear? Say hello to Osa, you guys. Hi, Osa. We're auditing you today. And we do want to know why you locked our passports when you had us locked up in your hotels. CC David Miscavige, CC Monique Yingling, CC all the attorneys that purport to really want to defend what in the hell's going on inside of these hotels and commercial buildings. So there's plenty of attorneys, you guys, that are on speed dial being paid thousands and thousands of dollars of retainer every month. Scientology is not locking any type of legal advisors or resources. Isn't that great, you guys, that they just have all the lawyers in the world that they want? And, it doesn't matter because why use the lawyer that they're literally retaining, right? Why? Yeah,
Okay, guys, go follow Surge. They're like, what is he streaming on?
literally Surge.
Literally Surge, guys, on YouTube.
You guys go follow Cam. That says to go follow Surge. So follow both of them, guys. Follow Surge and Cam.
Exactly.
Both great people out here.
Follow,
How you
follow,
doing?
follow.
Yeah, literally search on YouTube. All 700 of you people watching out here, man. If you're not gonna follow Surge, unsubscribe to me. I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We stand united. We will never be divided.
Let them know.
Guys, I gotta get in your skateboard.
Yes, you guys. As many people as are starting to follow this movement, as you can see, there's plenty of attention. They are closing early. They did close early, you guys, because they cannot take the heat. They are literally not happy with this level of heat, this level of scrutiny, this level of attention. This is not what they want. Oh, so, but we're doing it so little girls like that are not ending up ensnared inside of these chains of hotels. Let's go visit some of the doggies.
Okay, someone smashed my windshield.
It's been chilled, no? Pretty chill? No?
I mean, the one guy came back, the guy that got himself arrested last time and was screaming about I don't know what. And then, well, they called the cops 2 times earlier today. I wasn't here for it.
Damn.
Some guy came by and said, stop messing with my family and threw water balloons at Will.
Damn.
So that's when he left to get changed.
Oh,
But
damn.
that was
Somebody
just-
graffitied them. Look at that.
Uh-oh.
Stop.
Someone graffitied them.
Who ordered the food wants to say sorry. Her name's Jennifer.
Oh, she ordered it?
Yeah.
Jennifer, I am so sorry. Please get a refund. Jennifer was the one that ordered the food. Jennifer, please get a refund. Please.
Imagine doing that graffiti, you guys. If Scientology, just so you guys know, Scientology
What does
has,
stock even mean?
but Scientology has sent people to jail over hate crimes for graffitiing anything. Like, it's not even just like graffiti, it's like hate crime. This is a hate crime that you
But
did.
what's that even mean? They couldn't write something
Stock, that their stock is going down, you guys, that their lives are like literally plummeting to the
Is that
floor.
what that means?
I don't know. Just making
That
it
wasn't there
happen.
earlier, I don't think. I don't think
Well,
I
they
mean,
definitely
I didn't
have the
see it.
camera equipment to know who did it, I'm sure.
That's a tag? A tag of what? I don't know how graffiti works, guys. Sorry.
Tag.
Stock is their tag name. Oh, okay. People are saying Pennywise did it. Okay. Alrighty then. It's like, obviously there's cameras, so whoever it is going to get caught. Cam, you see this? Is he talking about basketball?
No, they're like, it's negative 15 in Memphis. It's
Oh.
snowing.
You see the graffiti?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know where
What's
they
say
came from.
stop?
Yeah.
What does it even mean?
I don't know.
I know.
They're saying it's a tag name. No, guys, this has nothing to do with, that has nothing to do with anyone that was, like, any of the people that were here.
No.
It's just some random person
That did something stupid because we love the building. We want the building intact.
Ryan posted a video of what he just did.
Oh, really?
Bald head, yeah.
Bald head. Okay. I blocked him, so I'm not going to be able to see it, but because he was terrifying me, but
He's
surprised he hasn't come back, honestly.
Tagging Scientology.
about him messaging a lot of girls, so just block him and ignore him if he tries to message. He's sick in the head, he's not right, and
Will's back.
they're all meeting.
Here comes streets, you guys.
Uber driver tagged the building.
Yeah, when they shut everything down and quiet it down.
Look around the corner right here. That came out of nothing.
Yeah, it's like
What's
Somebody
up?
tagged the wall, I guess.
somebody tagged a wall.
Yeah, I don't know who it was.
Just saw it.
I don't even know what it means.
This is the tagger did that.
Yeah.
What's going on, brother? It's different if it's cold.
Oh yeah, this is just some random.
Yeah, that's just a random guy. There's no way to move the last night. So today, they call a report in claiming noise complaint about people on the street. It's funny with the way they blast the music. Remember the cops stopped? I stopped them and I asked them to do something about it. They said there isn't any sort of noise, maximum noise. They can play their music as loud as they want. But God forbid, we're yelling. Yeah, then it's a different story. We called him twice in an hour. The sergeant said that told Josiah to first number right. He has a video of that. So it's like there's nothing to do. Last night they said we were gonna burn the building down. A couple days ago they said a 16-year-old kid had a bomb on him. Oh well, I was here for that one. Oh, you were here? Yeah, I was here for that one. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, why involved with teenagers like that? He started acting like, yo, what's up, man? He's like, I'm about to tell this girl off. I was like, bro, as long as you don't touch her, or you don't touch her, you tagged it up. You can say you want freedom of speech. Don't insult her.
Unlocked.
I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna say, hey, Brian.
I don't know if that was there.
One of those fucking charges. Right. One of those charges. Right.
I just saw it now too.
Beat somebody around the block with that.
Yeah, homeless person.
They tagged.
I came a picture of the kid being aggressive, to be honest.
That was done 20 minutes ago, by the way. Somebody in Black Mask came over and...
There's the Tigers. That has nothing to do with us. And then they're up and down the floor.
Yeah. I think it was just the Tiger guys.
Oh God!
I think that's spray paint right there.
Yeah, Shannon will come out and be like, "Oh, no worries, I'll call the cops."
That would make Shannon's day.
Yeah.
Shannon for jail 2024, you guys. She's the one that's been false reporting all these calls without receipts. That's what it's called. Making statements without receipts. Oh, that woman cannot walk in heels. That's a crime. Oh, you guys. It's either she doesn't have the right heels or something, because that's not looking too good. What's up? Good to see you.
Thanks for sharing all that information with us, man.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of information.
It's a lot. The more you know, the more you understand why we're.
Remember the other day they were throwing water bottles and
Water bottles and markers. Water bottles and markers.
Go ahead. Food delivery. Imagine doing Uber Eats here. This is what we're seeing, you guys. They're closing the ports early. The recruitment is drying up in this location. Take your free personality test so we can tell you what is wrong with you. So that's where the data mining starts, right there, you guys. As soon as you start taking that personality test, you already start assuming that they really have something that they can tell you. And just like that, they start taking your agency away. Like before you know it, you're listening to the literal garbage they're trying to sell you, because literally L. Ron Hubbard told them, ruin the person. Imagine being the hotel that sells a service that is telling people that the way that you really want to get somewhere is by ruining the person. Make them feel like without us, they will be nothing. And don't forget that they're trying to make the able more able in Scientology. So if you are not beneficial to them, then they want nothing to do with you. So that's what they're assessing always. They're always saying like, oh, what could we get out of this person? So if you have a lot of connections and things like that, then they really want to open the door. But if you are a nobody, then they want you to be out. They're like, nah, we can't really exploit you, but maybe next lifetime. Yes, Teres, like they're horrible to disabled people. They are absolutely discriminatory inside of these hotels about that. Um, Definitely, there's a whole very, very horrible story about Serge Oblinsky that ended up being like losing his arms, and these people just dumped him here in the street, and he was just homeless in the street after he lost his arms. Serge Oblinsky, another kid that grew up in Scientology, and it's actually very, very horrible what happened to him. But he's in a better place now because he has been accounted for. But no thanks to Scientology, who just literally left him there to rot. So check out Serge Oblinsky because they're always terrible because they're always just like if if you're handicapped, if you're autistic, if you have anything like that, they try to make you believe that number one it's your fault and then there's something degraded about you. So they're always constantly trying to get you to admit to yourself that it's somehow your fault. Did you get it back on?
Yeah, I think I'm back on.
Oh,
But I had one of my people, Blushy, because
Yeah.
she tried to request a follow for you, and she just wants you to know. She asked me to
great.
ask you.
It's not private though. Like anyone can follow me.
Okay, anyone can follow. So
Yeah.
Blushy, okay, he sees. She says thank you.
Okay,
Like
good.
this.
Yes.
All right. They want to hear you, so everyone follow him. And his lives on YouTube are really good. Like whenever I can get on, I go on. But it's also the SPTV is really good because you all get together there too.
Yes.
So do them privately and do the SPTV. I'm telling you, you will learn so much about this. Like I don't know, it just. Maybe bless you. Maybe you're following the wrong person because you want to give your information so they can all follow you.
Yeah, sure. So it's at Literally Search on YouTube and at Literally Search on TikTok. I post long form content on YouTube and we get into the weeds of what goes on inside of these hotels. Coming from the experience and the viewpoint that we lived this hell, which was as children and underage kids. There's a lot of underage kids. There's a lot of minors inside of these hotels. So this is common practice for Scientology because they're always about eradicating the actual body age of the children. Also, if you guys, I don't know if you follow Grant Cardone, he's a big Scientology so-called financial guru, another shammer, but there's a whole video with his daughter doing a presentation to a whole auditorium, and she's like maybe like 12 years old. So, and she has like, you can see it, a lot of stage presence and very much like, I say Hollywood and Scientology in terms of targeting kids have that same level of dirt all over their hands because they adulticize and exploit children and they want to monetize them. And that never works out for no kid that's been brought through that system. Like,
Yeah, look how messed up they get in Hollywood. When they grow up there.
we got Drew Barrymore. Like Drew Barrymore tells us like how horrible it was for her because it's like it's just not environments for kids, and kids shouldn't be adulticized. They should have their own space to figure things out, and then come when they're ready to figure out the next thing. Correct.
My friend, I have one of my best friends actually grew up with Drew Barrymore, and they were really close friends, like did sleepovers. And she's like, it's just destroy her. Like she couldn't even be after a while. They pull you away from your friends too. You're in there,
Well,
like Scientology.
yes, exactly. Like the celebrities, like fame. We lived in LA long enough, you guys. Fame is disgusting. You want nothing to do with it. It's all BS. It's all just fluff. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's as much as it gets worshipped in the city. Miss me with the fame. It's like the worst drug that any of these people get on because they get diluted. They get a bunch of entourages around them telling them sound like this, do that, do blah, blah, blah. So before you know it, you have no agency. You're just following a bunch of people telling you how to be.
Yeah, handlers, right?
Handlers.
Like, handlers.
Yeah.
And parents push their kids into this stuff, whether it's Hollywood or obviously in Scientology. They're the ones signing their kids over to these people and then being utterly destroyed. And then my person says they found you and thank you for the correction. So yeah, everyone follow him. He's so informative. I mean, I was involved wanting to do this for a while. Like I had my own opinions, but you really helped me really focus on this is about the children. I had people like saying, thank you for really focus, so that's the focus at the end of the day.
That's the focus. Like we cannot tell adults what to do. Like Sebastian, if he wants to, I mean, he cannot be recruiting kids.
Right.
And
they are. I mean, you see them. They're bringing in teenagers, and then now it sounds like they're trying to attack and make Solomon. He's underage, the fall guy for all of this. Like they target whether good or bad. I mean, well, it's all bad, but whether they want you or hate you, it seems like they target kids, and it's sickening. I mean, these people, it's just so gross. And, someone from New Zealand says thank you and hi.
Good. Yeah, for a so-called 501c, you guys. This is a 501c.
Yes, and that needs to stop. They need to revoke that status.
That's what it is. And the 501c was dropped off
because they do child human trafficking. Yeah, he was
trafficked
as a child.
From Mexico at 12 years old.
Well, not in this particular building, but this organization, Scientology.
They almost brought us in last time.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And they wouldn't even know. And they wouldn't even know.
Were you like underage?
We were 18.
Can you tell us? Okay, guys.
Nah, because we were walking in Hollywood, right? Yeah. And these like people in like some suits start coming. Oh, and they're like, hey, come with us for a personality test.
Personality test. Yeah.
It's like 400 questions. Yeah, they kept us going. They kept following us like all over there. And I was like, nah.
If you give the info, they'll never stop calling.
It's hardcore selling people, like, and it's like.
Nah, then I see on TikTok. I sent it to him. It was like, don't trust these guys.
He was 12 years old.
I was 12 years old.
110 hours a week.
I mean, I was born in. My parents were already in it when I was born. But then at 12, they trained me to be one of these auditors. So I was interrogating adults at 12 years old. Like hardcore interrogations. Like hardcore. Like they want to know like all your sexual details. They want to like just disgusting.
Everything, yeah. So they're really, so that we're trying to stop them, especially get the kids out of it. Like,
anyone underage it's gonna be preyed on by these people. Anyone.
It's so easy to like get them into that.
And it doesn't look like it. It sounds confusing, and especially you're like Tom Cruise is part of it. I'm sure it cannot be that bad.
Right.
So like that's kind of like.
We were about to go because they said personality test. We were like, let's just go. Bro.
Yeah, that sounds scary. I know they want to get all your info. They want to data mine you.
And they usually like the thing is like they ask you all those questions, right? Data mining, and that's what gets you in this like when somebody starts telling you what's wrong with you, be careful because. The minute you accept it, then they have you. Yeah. Then they dominate you. They're like, because they would have, like, what would have happened is, like, basically you would have answered all those questions, and then they would have had a graph, and the graph means nothing. It's just like,
real, huh? It's not real. It's
like BS. Like, they just pulled it out, like, and they're like, oh, look, your responsibility is very low, so we really could help you to raise your responsibility.
Yeah, no matter what you answer, they're always going to say,
no
matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. They're never going to be like, oh, you have a great personality, you have a great life, bye. No, never.
And then they want you to buy their books and, take their classes.
It's all a sales pitch. They start ensnaring you little by little. So. All right, guys.
I'm glad they didn't catch you.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Cheers.
I'm fighting for all of you.
See, and I'm thinking we should actually grab iPads and have people sign to revoke their status and sign all the petitions.
I would love to do that.
You know what I mean? Because then then we're here, you close or whatever, then we're just collecting signatures as people walk by and get the community actually.
You want to do that? Is there a position out there already, or I'm totally willing to do that?
I know Jessica Palmeresa has one in her bio, I heard.
I couldn't find it. I know I looked.
You couldn't
I
find it? Okay, yeah, I think we just have to like centralize it
I
more.
may not be
Organize.
the techiest person.
That's,
But
yeah.
that's good thing. Well, they always have like during election time. Oh, do you want this? This, this, and this. And yeah, if we could ever get something on the ballot, imagine if we could work. Like that's the stuff I want to do, like behind the scenes political stuff, and try to get on the ballot where it make it illegal to have children, in these situations. So I'm all down. I still haven't gotten you all the emails I want to send you because I want to talk about that stuff too. But also, I know in people in oh my gosh, January 22nd, the Central Hollywood Neighborhood Council has their meeting. It's all on Zoom. They're not doing it in person anymore.
Okay.
And we all need to call in and as stakeholders, and call in and say we want this. I plan on calling in. I'm going to post something about the meeting, to everyone.
Okay.
If everyone, can you imagine if they get every meeting, they have 100 people that want to speak, and we're all talking about we want this stuff. You don't think that they're going to then talk to the city council person, like, hey, we're getting all this. You know what I mean? And that's sometimes you have to start really grassroots. And that's a system I'm more familiar with, so.
Absolutely.
If we can all get people to call.
That's what we need. And again, that's where it goes back to the advocacy. We're advocating for the people that need the advocacy. Yeah. We cannot make a case that we need to advocate for adults that made a bad choice and now they're ensnared in a racketeering thing.
Right.
That's.
And if we could take it all down, that'd be great. That's like the
facts. I mean, I'm sure there's context, right? There's context to everything, but those are the facts. And if people are committing crimes, they need to actually be held accountable, including but not limited to fake calls to the LAPD.
Yes, and we need to get on that, and we also need to get on, where they don't allow people to call the police, like women who were, raped by Danny Masterson. We're not allowed to call and say, you know what I mean? And for any
and that goes back to the audits, guys. Like, the audits are very important to understand. And Scientology is nothing but their audits. The only reason all of this exists is so that people can go in session with the e-meter. Okay,
well, how's that work? Like, I'm like, I don't.
So that's the sessions is really what they're selling you. It's like that's where the technology is. Like, do you see there? It says, imagine technology and spirituality combining. Okay. So that's the sales pitch. That they hook you up to that machine, and then all of a sudden that machine is able to find spirituality and guide your attention, but all they're doing is data mining you the entire time. The auditor has no responsibility to be working in your best interest with all this information that they're gathering on you. They're gathering the information and they're using it to manipulate the end user. Always. There's no ethical oversight, nothing. Everything is, we're going to find out all about you, and based on what we're finding about you, we're going to use that to manipulate you.
Is that what someone said when I went to North Hollywood, that on Sunday they have something similar to like a church service?
Correct. They do. They call it a Sunday service, but it's all. It's a literal role play of a Sunday service. It's like, and actually you can go to Reckless Ben. He did a video. He's a Reckless Ben on YouTube. He's one of these young kids that went in with Google glasses and went through the whole thing pretending he wanted to be a part of them. And he shows you the inside of a Sunday service, and he shows you the interrogations, the type of disgusting questions. Like, they're asking him about blowjobs. They're asking him about what?
Like TMI, everything. Right? I want to go because I've seen it on Sundays where they had LAPD, I guess off-duty officers, because they had dealing with their traffic and stuff. So it gets a lot of people on Sundays. So I wanted to go to this Sunday, but I couldn't. But next Sunday I want to go and see if I can talk to people outside of Sunday service.
That's a good idea.
You know what I mean?
It's a good idea, but I mean, again, you guys, the Sunday service is a facade. These people could not give. It's all just another event, another marketing opportunity, another time to gather people around, sell them books, sell them services, and
I want to see how many kids are tagged along,
to the Sunday service. I mean, when we were there, Sunday service was the last priority. You could not skip the Thursday mandatory staff meeting because that's when they scream at you and yell at you because you didn't do enough for the week.
So that's why they're all in trouble. Right?
Oh, these people are in so much trouble, all of them. Yeah.
But what about are you hearing about the MacArthur Park thing? Like, what's your take on what's going on with MacArthur Park?
I haven't heard about that.
Okay,
I just heard something on the chat that
yeah, apparently these recruiters are now recruiting at MacArthur Park during the day, and so there's I guess they're seeing all the intimidation hasn't worked here, so now they're relocating. So we need to get everyone.
Because Scientology wants to keep them working, you guys. There's no excuse to not work. If you're not doing it here, you're doing it there. If you're not doing there, you're doing it there. There's no excuse. Going back to this phrase that they use, the why is God, meaning that you cannot have a single excuse for why your statistics are not up. Every week you have to prove that you're selling for them, that you're doing something. Otherwise, it's your fault.
Okay, so with this happening, what do you think this discussion is behind the scene? Is it them saying, well, it's not our fault, and someone saying, well, you better figure it out, or somebody else figuring it out for them and saying, well, that's,
Well, they're all working together. You know what I mean? They're all working together. I have a hard time really believing that they've been fully blamed for this, but, Sebastian is never going to be seen again. Like, Sebastian is gone. Like, he's never going to be here doing everything.
Where do you think what do you think happened?
They've disappeared him. I mean, I don't know. We're thinking he could have even been sent back to his country. Like, they're that, like, the fact that he's so old, like, his face became so recognizable, they don't want that.
And he had bruises on his face. They tell him he had bruises on his hands and face. So to me, it's like he got in a fight.
Well, and I mean, again, there's all manner of executives that have been all over the public record saying how they got beaten.
Yeah.
I mean, I did get a couple of slaps in my time there as a minor, but the psychological torture was way heavier than any type of physical beating that I could have ever gotten.
Well, you know what? I mean, people want to free Sebastian, but he chose it, and he chose to stay. So let's be honest. I mean, Sebastian...
We're changing the focus to the kids, you guys. 21 and under, they don't belong there.
Yeah, because he had so many opportunities.
The power dynamics in there for kids are indefensible, and we can advocate for kids. We cannot advocate for adults.
Yeah, we have to kind of pick our battle.
Well,
we can offer them help. We've come here how many times? Aftermath Foundation, and
there's people that have been helping adults get out, and that's great, and that needs to be done as a separate channel. But the focus is, if what they're doing to kids is as disgusting as it is, then why in the hell is everything else propped up as a fake 501c? Because you cannot have a 501c and then all of a sudden lock up kids against their will. You cannot have a 501c and all of a sudden lock up their passports against their will. Again, it's like, that was something that I literally just found out about recently, you guys. I didn't even put two and two together that my passport was locked up. Number one, they lie to you as a child and they tell you, oh, your passport is called a VAL doc, short for valuable document. So right away they redefine what a passport is. And as a child, you don't know. You're just like, okay, that's my document. If you need it, they tell you, oh, if you need it, come and get it. But you have to ask them for permission. So the point is we could never leave. Just like you see all of these guys here, they never can leave. Like, if they go missing, like, they're being chased. They're being like, oh shit, Sebastian's nowhere to be found. We need to find him.
I know, and people are commenting about it, and I want everyone to understand, it's not that I'm not for freeing Sebastian. I am here. I would see any of these people. Like, I would love to see any adult, anyone, child, everyone to be free from this nonsense. But he was offered so many times. I mean, he had some really amazing offers. He's been given the info, and he was nothing but rude and condescending and arrogant and nasty. Like, he's a nasty person in person.
And that's the problem with adults, you guys. The more you try to help them, the more they double down and triple down on their stuff. They try to defend it, right? Because they're so tied to this identity.
Yeah.
If they wake up, it's called betrayal blindness. And you learn about it when you actually go to see a licensed therapist, not someone that completes a 2-week course in a hotel, which is what these people sell. They're practicing medicine without a license. They're practicing law without a license.
Yeah.
And they couldn't be more unhinged and ridiculous.
So it's not that, like, I do feel sympathetic, but yeah, he's at the age when he has to save himself. You know, because he
all
tried.
21 and up, all 21 and up.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're making a choice. They need to live by that choice, and they need to take consequences if they're doing illegal things. Because Sebastian was literally responsible, as you guys just saw here. These 18 years old, these kids, they're the ones that were being targeted. They're the ones that are quick to be gullible and naive and just buy whatever. Like, these people sound real confident, so they do know how to sell.
And they were going for the younger ones. Sergio was mad that we were stopping his game. That's what he's not mad that we're interfering with Scientology, but we're interfering with his numbers and his status. He was like their poster boy here, you know. And so I guess when you're out here and you see him in person, like he's not as likable. I know everyone fell in love with him like he's everyone's sweetheart, but it's not how he is. I mean, like,
Well, the fact is, again, it's like he's bringing kids to be ensnared in this organization, full knowing, and going back to what Scientology is. Scientology is audits. So full knowing you're going to get locked up against your will. And what I mean by that, to be very exact, is Scientology is based on this policy L. Ron Hubbard wrote called the Auditor's Code, which is basically the guidelines of what governs each of these audits. And it says in those guidelines, I promise never to let a PC, and a PC is anyone that you're auditing, that's the name for the role. I promise never to let a PC end the session on his own determinism. So that means that if I was to audit LA Street, you're LA Street?
I'm no audit LA.
If I was to audit LA, if I was like, oh, let's go in session. And in the meantime, like, let's say that we're like, I'm asking her these questions in these audits, and she gets uncomfortable because I start asking her very personal questions. It's like, Serge, you know what? Never mind. I want to leave. Oh, no, you cannot leave. Until I say you can leave, you can leave. And if the person tells you that they want to leave, you are not allowed to let them control. It's called don't let the PC control the session. So you're not allowed to. So you're basically fully under like full-blown interrogation without a lawyer, being asked questions to incriminate yourself, including but not limited to. Have you committed any felonies for which you have not been arrested? Have you ever done something sexually bad to you know what?
They could be blackmailing anyone.
It's all data mining felonies and laundering them. They launder that. They purport that because they floated on a needle, because they talk about it, it's all floating, it's all disappearing, and it's like, it's literally a false pitch. It's literally the words of an indicted, convicted felon, you guys. L. Ron Hubbard, New York Times bestseller. Shout out to the New York Times that did endorse this book. 100 times is what they have there. 100 times it's been on the New York Times bestseller.
Didn't his son sadly like commit suicide?
His son, who was LGBTQ, who was horribly abused, was also made an interrogator like me as a child. Was trained to the highest level of interrogator as a child, and it's very, very tragic because, again, L. Ron Hubbard was out of his mind. He was a complete deadbeat dad. He died in a trailer, completely out of his mind, just like high out of his mind, paranoid out of his mind, running from the law. He was convicted, indicted in France. He ran away. He went into a ship. He grabbed minors into that ship. God knows what he was doing to the passports. God knows that they were also locking him that day. But, the point is that they've been locking the passports all the time that I was there as a child. All my formative years until my early 20s, my passport was locked away by a woman named Debbie Cook, the biggest trafficker of Florida, you guys. She left Scientology to grift some more because she left to talk, and I talk about that on my YouTube video if you want to understand who. Debbie Cook is like the Ghislaine Maxwell of David Miscavige, because she's the one that trafficked the most kids into these hotels. She was there for 17 years. Every week, they're at it. Who can we recruit? Who can we recruit? We need more statistics. We need more. And then they also lose because they treat people so bad that you end up as roadkill after they're done with you. Like, going back to Scientology can only help the able more able. So if you are not an asset for them, you're just either an asset or a liability. That's all they care about. Like, oh, you're an acid. Like all these kids right now are acids. But imagine that Shannon starts having like crazy breakdowns and starts feeling a little like if she has those thoughts, even if you have thoughts of wanting to off yourself, then they dispose of you. They're like, oh, you don't qualify to be here anymore. Bye.
And
And
they just throw you out in a heartbeat.
oh yeah, and then they also make you write affidavits where you say, oh, everything that happened to me in these hotels was my fault. I blame everything on me. It was all because I didn't uphold the standards. So they're always blaming everything on you. They're never responsible for how they treat you. You're always responsible for how they're treating you. So it's very sick.
I
Very,
have
very
two
sick.
questions for my people.
Yeah.
One is, what is a wolf? And the other one is, did they do all that to Sebastian? I know people really love Sebastian. I get it. No one hates him here.
Well,
and
we just, again, we
Sal
are
is okay.
asking the questions. Why was Sebastian bringing minors to this location for how many years, and how many minors did Sebastian bring? Because that's a much better question to be asking you guys. How many minors got ensnared in the scam? Because Sebastian smiled at them, pretended to be his friend, pretended to really care for them, and then as soon as he brought them here and they got sold the book, Sebastian washed his hands of them. He's going and finding more. So whatever happens to these kids, he doesn't give an F about what happens to them if they ended up being recruited, signing contracts that they're not even supposed to be signing. Why was I signing a contract at 12 years old?
Yeah, you're not even legally allowed.
12 years old is
What
when I
do you
first
think
signed the
happened to him?
contract.
And also, what is a wolf? Someone says you really want to know what a
A
wolf is.
wolf?
Yeah.
I don't think that's not
That's not
Scientology.
Scientology? Okay, so wolf isn't. Squirrel is over.
A squirrel. A squirrel is someone that doesn't follow the technology. So going back to the point that, Scientology is irredeemable because you cannot change L. Ron Hubbard. You cannot water down L. Ron Hubbard. You cannot put any type of common sense measures in on anything. You're not allowed to change anything. And if you change it, then you're called a squirrel. So that's what's so sick about it, because it's like you have to role play with complete blindness and just take everything in good faith that this so-called spiritual technology is really going to get you anywhere when you're just being abused.
So it's not. We're not the squirrels because like someone was like saying the squirrels are winning. So are we as protesters squirrels too, or what?
No, we're just called suppressive people. We're in the and this is talking about why Sebastian would be so condescending. In their twisted, deluded adult view, because again, it's not a defense. I was in a cult to do horrible things to other humans and dehumanize them. So, according to all of that, he thinks we are hindering this technology that is really helping a lot of people. Okay, and that's sort of like the belief that they have to really hold, and they really have to be like, oh, I really think I'm helping, right? And when I was there, I mean, again, like I thought I was helping as a 12-year-old, and then, but in my early 20s, I smelled a rat for myself, and I was like, I broke the billion-year contract. I had to wash bathrooms with muriatic acid without protection for 6 months. I was being interrogated every day to try to get me to not want to leave. And they were telling me like, oh, because they treat it like as if you're like an army deserter. Like, oh, you're deserting this war. You're leaving it all up to us now. How dare you? So you're also dead bondage. They literally make you sign an invoice as a minor. These courses run you up $5,000 one course, $10,000 one course. The Keto Life course was $10,000 for me, for example. And every time you do one of these courses, you have to sign an invoice, otherwise you cannot do the course. And the invoice is just a formality to dead bondage you, because you're signing an invoice as a child saying that you'll pay $10,000 if you break the contract. So
I hear that sometimes you've gotten bills. Like I think Liz was saying she got a bill and actually paid it, but she was like actually
you guys,
happy to
I think it was like $78,000 what I was billed after they abducted me from 15 to my early 20s, and I was left on the street with a bill. I was like in the negative by I think like $70,000 that I owe them after having been a volunteer for 10 plus years.
And the questions are coming into, about what's said at the interrogation is there's been that, like felonies and your sexual things, but people want to know personally if you can give your, where you are on TikTok again, but also, are you still in contact, like how did you leave and are you still in contact with your parents and how are they? Like, if you don't mind, that might be too personal, but.
No, so at literally search. So that's my username on TikTok and YouTube, you guys. At literally search. So I post on TikTok and on YouTube, and I'm not in touch with my family, you guys. It took me having a full-blown midlife crisis to really cut the tie with everyone involved in Scientology. Okay, so it is a longer story, and there's a whole video about it on my YouTube. So you guys can sort of just go through that, and there's a lot of information already there. ABC 2020 did a whole segment called Scientology, A War Without Guns, that gets into my story specifically. And then I do a reaction video to that segment, so I contextualize everything that ABC sanitized in the segment. So
are they asking, like, did you have to go, like, get, like, therapy afterwards, like, to get, like, to get through all that? Like, how does that, like...
Absolutely. I mean, I ended up first going to a psychiatrist after being extremely, like, not good, Again, it's like when your brain reconciles the level of deceit and the betrayal, like, and then you cut off all the people in your life, like it's like committing like this alive. It's very disorienting. Like you're like, what happened with this? Because when we were being abused inside these hotels, you guys, what it's called, and I learned that through therapy, is we were turned into fawns. That's what it's called, fawning. Like your entire nervous system is compromised. You cannot fight back. You disassociate with all of this abuse. They're constantly traumatizing you, interrogating you, degrading you, yelling at you. So all of this just causes you to completely disassociate, and you're not really in touch with your feelings there because they're constantly telling you to not have feelings.
Right, because that's part of it too, right? Laura was talking a lot about that, about the non-reactive mind, where you have to act like nothing's bothering you, and that's part of the thing.
And that's what these so-called audits are supposed to be doing to you. Like, if something very traumatizing happens to you, then they lock you up in that room and they make you talk about it ad nauseum. Extremely intrusive. It goes on for hours and hours on end. It's all getting video recorded. It's all getting transcribed as you're giving the answers. And it's horrible. And if you don't say that you love what you've been through, you don't get out. The only reason to get out is like, oh my God, this helped me so much. Oh, never mind. I'm no longer upset.
Now, right? I'm cured.
Yes, literally.
I have a personality now. Like, I'm so
imagine how sick that is for kids that you don't know, like, and you quickly learn that you have to lie about this because otherwise you're not getting out.
I want to ask you something too. Like, besides the kids, I was thinking about the elderly. How is it true that they put the elderly in these buildings without any medical care, without any home health care, and all these years they couldn't, they can't work anymore, but they didn't build up enough to get, like, the help from the government. So
correct,
we need to maybe protect the seniors too. After after all that.
It's the echelon of people that need most vulnerable, right? Like the kids are first. Then, of course, the seniors are also extremely neglected and used.
After all the years of like giving your time.
Correct. After all the years of abusing people too. So it's a double-edged sword there because, my grandmother, I'm a third generation. My grandmother, my parents, and then I. So my grandmother was part of these hotels in Florida, and she was used to groom me and lure me in. Because she was working at the hotel. As a kid, you never think, oh, my grandmother's doing something bad. You think, oh, my grandmother wants to help the world because that was the pitch. But my grandmother wasn't helping. She was training all these people to do these audits, you know, and before you know it, you're doing L. Ron Hubbard's bidding, right? So you could have been Mother Teresa and really want to help the world, but if you're teaching the context of a convicted, indicted felon, like, in what world is that going to help anybody? With all the best intentions in the world, L. Ron Hubbard didn't give an F about good intentions. He gave an F about making himself be a complete scammer, and then everyone that's doing his bidding is implicated in doing L. Ron Hubbard's scammery, because they're just following everything like robots. So our grandparents were used to lure us into the hotel. My grandmother died of stage 4 cancer because she was never taken to, when she felt the lump in her breast, Debbie Cook, which was the person that was trafficking the minors in Florida, wouldn't let her go and actually get treated. So, because, you know, she was like, oh, you cannot get replaced. And then they also do a lot of quackery. They're like, oh, we're going to give you an assist, and that's really going to help you. Like, and then assist, you guys, is just telling someone, again, in a locked hotel room, feel my finger, feel my finger, feel my finger. They're just telling you, feel my finger all over your body. And unless you said that you love that or that you really got something out of it, you're not leaving the room. So you literally could be like having someone telling you that hours and hours.
And that's how, I mean, I can't think of her name right now, that died because of that. She was having breakdowns. And
Lisa
Pearson,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, you know, like, it's so abusive, and it's so, and again, anytime you have a breakdown, they're doubling down on you. There's no guardrails, there's no common sense. It's all just, well, what did L. Ron Hubbard say? And L. Ron Hubbard was like, yeah, double down, ask him more questions. They would tell us, what turns it on will turn it off, which meant that whatever you're upset about, just feel it and keep feeling it, and we're gonna do it more, because soon you'll not feel it. So it's like they force you, and you cannot impose any boundaries. The person in this role play as a PC cannot say, stop, no, I don't want it, I don't like it. There's no. Like, you are under their full control. You have no agency in that room.
What do you mean by, like, role plays? Can you explain role plays?
So auditing, okay, so it's an auditor and a PC. So that's a role, right? Like, you are my PC, I am your auditor. We're gonna do a session. So the PC is basically the submissive, the person that is literally under the full domination of the auditor. And that's why it's a disgusting power dynamic imbalance, that there is no way in hell to make it make sense.
Yeah, for a child to be the dominant, and you could be over someone's like 55, 60 years old. Someone once said, no, like, if someone has a heart attack, what happens? Like, say if they're having a heart attack or a seizure, will they call, like, the ambulance, or they, you know, what happens?
Well, they have all manner of, like, crisis management things that they do. They have all type of, you know, vetted doctors that are, like, safe mandated reporters that they have good connections with, and that's how you end up with all the senior elder abuse and child abuse, because no one ends up at a doctor that has not been vetted. In fact, that's why Lisa ended up dying, because she could have been taken 2 blocks away to Morton Plant Hospital, and instead they took her to David Minkoff 40 minutes away, because David Minkoff was a Scientology doctor, and they didn't want any of the medical personnel to see Lisa in the state that she was in. So, you know, anyone having any medical problems, Scientology is figuring out where they can send them that is not going to create a report, or it's not going to create a problem for them.
So they would not let you call an ambulance. Like, they would be taking... So
you guys, you cannot call 911. Literally, anyone that calls 911, the security guards are monitoring that all day, 24/7. They know who calls it, they know, and they send someone right away. Like, if they call it, they send who's there, who's called it, la la la. They're hearing what it says. They hear everything, and none of these people are allowed to have their own cell phones or any way to communicate for themselves. So they're relying on just the phones that they have in here, that they're all under surveillance.
So Angel was pretending that was a cell phone, right? It was really like a pocket calculator.
Well, no, because again, the slave masters, which are all the executives of Scientology, The slave masters are all the people in security. They're the ones with the control. They're the prison guards.
So that all these security guys, like Goofy and all them, so I don't like to call people like out their name, but I can't. Anthony, like they're like the high levels.
Yeah, the security guards are senior HCO, it's called. And that is like a high, I mean, again, it's all like a made up pyramid of nothing. But for them, they're like, oh my God, that person is really high up. And it's like, it couldn't be more ridiculous.
I did not know that because to me it looks like almost like this, like I don't know. You go into a store and you see a bar. No offense, like they're there to keep, but you don't. Think
They're there to
like
just keep,
executives.
make sure that nothing happens. But these guys are empowered to, like, all of these kids have, they are in a senior organization. So all of these kids have to call him sir. They cannot even address him by his first name. And also, you guys, fun fact, all the women in Scientology are very pressed for their pronoun. Their pronoun is sir. Women do not want to be called she. Women do not want to be called, obviously, you can call them she, but you can never address them as sir, as anything else but sir. You can never say ma'am if they're your senior.
So is that like, so not Twilight would count as that or no? Or,
Like she's the senior of these kids, so they have to call her so.
wow. People are asking, okay, everyone, because hopefully one of my mods can maybe pin his at literally Surge, both on TikTok and YouTube, because I get new people coming in like, what's this? Because you're very, and people want me to let you know, you're very informative, very eloquent in your speech, and so you're very much appreciated. People, I mean,
Well, we appreciate you guys because, again, we've been trying to make a change. We've been trying to prevent other kids to be ensnared in the horrendous childhood that we had to literally survive to live to tell. So, we are on the flip side. We have great support. We have great security. We are not children in adult that are being adults anymore. We're adults now. So
you're fighting for those kids that
we're fighting for all of those kids. Everything that was done to us, we're having to be the advocate we wish we would have had when we were stuck at the hotel. And no one can make that advocacy because, again, if you rely on the corporate media, they have no skin in the game. They've been grifting Scientology story the whole time, whitewashing everything, laundering the image of all the so-called whistleblower executives that want to make it about themselves and their adult problems they ran into for themselves. I mean, imagine Debbie Cook, Marty Rathbun, Mike Rinder. Oh, what happened to me? It's very important. We really need to find out about this because, they really want to blame everything on David Miscavige. The problem is that it took a wide-ranging conspiracy of adults all doing the bidding of Miscavige.
Yeah, because you told me that for your kids, I'm going to say no, I don't care who you are. I'm not going to do that.
You will see my community tab that he did come out. He was able to speak truthfully and look criminals. We were ordering things, and soon enough, everybody's doing the criminal thing, and then we're all doing it. So the highest echelon of so-called executives were all criminals. Never mind that they had a detainer on speed dial, but these prominent what centers are really using as a leg to report that could be more official. Attorneys that did get into the client-attorney relationship that is very specific for attorneys to really get hired by someone to defend them. They have a lawless, crazy, out of control client that you'll see in some of the videos. There's a guy called Jackson Moorhead that was security at Gold, and he talks about how they would cover up things for the attorneys all the time. They would just straight up lie to the attorney. Like anything that happened, they would just kind of water it down because they didn't want to get yelled at by the attorneys. Okay, so since they do have that insulation, the attorneys never came to the hotels, you guys. The attorneys couldn't give a shred of an F.
I don't think the police care either.
No, the police are groomed. The police have been ensnared. I mean, imagine these guys are not just trying to, implicate kids. They're grooming our police officers. Our police officers couldn't be more clueless, groomed or compromised if they tried. We see how friendly they are when they walk over here. Scientology gives them like, oh, here's a fruit basket. That's what they were doing in Florida. They were giving
Overtime.
all types of
They use the
the 501 to, you know, pay what they need to pay. They've been paying the LAPD for a long time. They've been safe pointing. It's literally called safe pointing, you guys. Like, that's what they call it. Safe pointing is using PR to get people to be okay with you, basically. Like, oh, let's look really relatable, and they send all their most beautiful girls to do the PR, to talk to the LAPD. They send like their most presentable people to grease the wheels and make everything good. Like, you know, actress Marisol Nichols, you can actually watch one of my videos about her. She's a Scientologist. She was an actress on 24, that show 24. She was always playing cops or whatever. She infiltrated the human trafficking division of the LAPD. She's besties with the head of the human trafficking of the LAPD, doing podcasts because she decided to open a 501c. Guess for what, you guys? Marisol Nichols, for a slavery-free world.
Wow. Well, let's start with these kids.
So there she is having a podcast talking to the head of the human trafficking division, LAPD, in uniform, official, as he pitches his own book in this podcast. And as he acts in a very disgusting, inappropriate way. They're fraternizing. She's flirting with him all over camera. She's talking about, oh, I know you so well. And it's nauseating because the corruption couldn't be more in our face.
And you saw too, because like Serge on his podcast on YouTube read the letter that I wrote to LAPD and the disgusting, you know, the I call it whitewash, you know, letter in return, which was, to me was so offensive. It didn't deal with anything of the important questions I asked. But it was very much pro Scientology, in my opinion. I don't know if you know, because like
it was very PR, right? Like we would call it a very PR answer. They're not saying this, they're not saying that.
They said that they're worried about their security and our rights.
They're honoring the
what
first.
About our security?
And they're saying that they're honoring their First Amendment. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna honor yours, but we really have to honor theirs as well.
Their security. But I'm like, the only one who's been attacked, they're not being attacked. We're the ones being attacked. How many times did streets get spit on and kicked?
Correct. I mean, you know, in terms of what that means, you know, just so that they don't play dumb, you guys. Again, like, because they're making a case for themselves that they really want to honor them having their First Amendment right. Okay, so why was our passport locked up? In what world is that honoring their First Amendment right? Locking up passports is a full-blown felony. Locking up passports of minors at a literal industrial size scale, it's not like it was just mine, you guys. It was everybody's identification is compromised.
Is that a felony here in California? Because if it is, that's a great way to.
Yeah.
I like to find out, like, see what that law is, and like that's something that needs to be pushed.
And also, guess what? They were sending minors to go get married in Las Vegas because California requires them to have a psychiatric evaluation. There's a lot of minors that get married off to adults because you're all in a hotel, you're all told that you're an adult, so all minors think they're adults. And as a teenager, you think they're almost hooking you up with seeing you like that. You know what I mean? Like as a 15-year-old, I was yelling at adults. I was telling them, you know, go wash dishes, you didn't make your target, you're totally out ethics, you're a degraded being. Like, they wanted us to sound like that. If you didn't sound like that, then they told you were a wimp and you're teety-weety, and they had all manner of like words that they would use to, you know, to degrade you and to make you into this like rough, like, you know, no nonsense person. Like, because again, it's like they really have this like diluted thing that they're in some sort of like military operation.
So is that because they say Sea Org and it looks like a naval, is that what it is?
And they're wearing like full military uniforms, stolen valor AF. I mean, these people have like tags here, and you would think they're coming out of and 80s. Literally, that's all they have. Like, wear things that they purport that they're successful, but they're really just clowns.
What do you think Sebastian's fate is? Like, he's not going to be lifted up and like, you know, like he's going to be like, where? If you had to guess, like 2 or 3 scenarios, like where do you think?
Well, no, Sebastian is what is called in severe ethics trouble. You guys, severe ethics trouble. It means that you are of the highest trouble, and how that's determined is depending on the problem you created. So because he created all this attention, because there's all these TikToks, because all of these people are here, he's being blamed for all of that.
Angel
Personally.
too, do you think? Because it started with Angel.
Yeah, but Angel is not the person that runs the thing, and he didn't become the person on top. And because also Angel is ethics, and he's like a prison guard, they usually blame everything on the slaves.
So he's a slave.
He's at the bottom of the barrel.
Sebastian. Okay, so he's a slave.
Yeah, he's just a slave. He's just like, he's not a senior. He's just a nobody. He's just like, you know, the lowest of the lowest there.
And what do you think they're?
So he's being made to, you know, do disgusting things, wash bathrooms, you know, just gross stuff, and then, you know, everyone that works in the things sneers at you, and it's like, oh my God, you're the one that created all these problems and blah blah blah. So he's being guilted, he's being degraded, he's being treated horribly.
Where do you think he is? Like where?
Well, I mean, we suspect that either he's like locked up somewhere in that blue building where they can keep him completely out of ever walking out and getting video recorded or photographed, or he might be sent to another, like he could have been sent to Florida, he could have been sent to another state, he could have been sent back to, you know, Colombia. Like, they just want him gone. They want nothing to do with him again because of this problem.
Do you think that might wake him up to quit? At that point, people are wondering maybe he'll wake
It's
up.
very hard, you guys, because again, like, it's very hard. Adults tend to double down on their commitment, no matter, like, the more they sacrifice, the more they're convinced that I did the right thing by being part of this.
But you think he's probably saying, you know what, I'll get through this, you know, punishment, and I'm going to prove to them I'll just be the best Scientologist ever. That's more where his mind probably is.
Yeah.
But
Well,
if he wanted to leave, could he still go through that process of leaving?
Well, it's going to be very hard again because he's so hot, right? Like, the last thing Scientology wants is for him to connect with any of us and be like, oh, look, I left. That would be the absolute worst. Like, Scientology wouldn't hate anything more than that. So they're going to definitely keep a lot of tabs on him and want to make sure that he does not leave. They're going to want to keep tabs on him for a long time, as long as they can possibly do it.
What about Anthony? I hear you, gossip guy, but what about Anthony, the other guard? Like, he's gone too because he spoke with one of the protesters, and they got a sound bite of him like admitting stuff.
Anthony is in the worst trouble. You guys commenting on Danny Masterson like that? I mean, are you kidding me? Like, that's what they call in Scientology glutz PR. And glutz PR, and again, just so you guys really get how these people is just all PR, okay? But glutz, spelled Gltuz, glutz, PR, means that you're forwarding enemy lines. You're saying bad things that is going to make them look bad. Whether true or false, it doesn't matter. They don't give an F. As long as anything makes them sound that they could be bad, they're being told that they're glutz PRing. So he was glutz PRing them because even though he commented in an honest way about the Danny Masterson situation, that was completely unacceptable that he did that. Completely. Like, you cannot do that at work in security. Like, he's probably busted worse than Angel, to be honest, because than Sebastian, because that, the fact that he commented on Danny Masterson is just...
Yeah, Sebastian he got autographs, but he never came out and said anything he said against the protesters, but not against Scientology.
Correct.
So that makes sense. So Anthony, even though he's higher up, like he's a prison guard,
yeah,
the fact that he actually had sound clips.
So yeah, he's in much trouble now. Much trouble. You know, And then the rest of these girls here, they're just sort of like taking it. You know, you can tell that they're pressed and that they're annoyed, but you know, now that they're all insulated in there.
Where is everybody? Oh my gosh, I got so into this interview. Where is everybody?
Everybody is
In the back.
in the back.
Let's go.
We do need people on the side in case they sleep on the side. Though.
Okay.
I'll go in the side.
That's what they did
Thank you,
yesterday.
sir. So it was so informative. Oh, they just
Yes,
want to know what else
thank you,
because they
guys.
physically abuse you.
Oh yes, yes, you guys. I was locked up for 2 years at this place called the Hacienda Gardens because I was put in the RPF, what they call the hole, like a very strenuous, horrific prison program, which is where Angel and Angel was that the other one. What's the other one? Sebastian and the other one. What was the other one?
Anthony.
Anthony. So they, it's been alleged that this, prison program has been canceled. I don't buy it because nobody has the authority to cancel any L. Ron Hubbard anything. So they have kind of spread that message like, oh, we really did cancel that prison program, but they might not do it that officially, but they still can keep someone in a epic cycle for 2 years.
When people say they love you.
Oh, thank you guys. I really appreciate
and
it.
you've been so informative, and I appreciate
Yeah, let's keep the community informed so that we can all advocate for the victims. Yeah.
And I want to thank everybody because I didn't want to interrupt Serge when he was talking. I noticed people giving gifts, so normally I thank everyone right away. I want to thank all of you who blessed me that way. I appreciate you, but I did not want to interrupt Serge because when he talks, it's like I really want to hear what he has to say. He's so informative. But now we're being sent to the back, so if I lose you guys, I hope I don't because I dropped my thing over here. So let's see if we can.
Yeah, let's check it out.
If you guys see him, just shout out. And then
Were they waiting for the bus?
Yeah, they're waiting. We're waiting for the bus. This is the most exciting part of the night, you guys. When we catch him red-handed, being driven to a bus, so that the LAPD can really buy the pitch that they couldn't be trafficked if they go from one building to the other. Isn't that great, you guys? That all it takes is to move them like cattle from one building to the next, and then all of a sudden it's not trafficking anymore because they work 11 hours in that building, but they do go to another hotel of ours and they live there with 12 people to a room. So thank you, Jackie, for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. So shady AF, you guys. These are the real definitions of slim as fuck shady.
I wonder what they talk about.
What they talk about?
Yeah, they're standing there talking. I wonder what they talk about.
They are plotting and talking and organizing, and it's. I was born and raised in this cult, so it's very, very, very bad for kids, especially.
Yeah, no. We've read.
We live in Tampa, so.
Oh no way! Oh my God! Well, I was trafficked there at the Fort Harrison Hotel.
Yeah,
I was at the Fort Harrison Hotel since I was 12. I was brought.
Place is very.
I was brought from Mexico.
Chill,
I was brought trafficked from Mexico. Told to lie to the immigration. Told them that I was going to go to school and that was going to be a part of this big thing, and just to traffic minors across state lines from other countries. Mexico. There's a federal lawsuit actually in Tampa. Have you guys heard about it?
No.
There's a federal child trafficking lawsuit that was filed in Tampa. There's at least 3 plaintiffs now that were trafficked to the Fort Harrison and then shipped off. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Free Ones. It's a ship. It's like they have a floating ship. They have a floating ship at the Caribbean. Well, they send these 3 kids there with their passports locked up. They were there over like 10 years, I think, plus, and just abused in horrible ways, doing dehumanizing. All of this stuff is completely dehumanizing. It's all nonsense. It's all garbage. It's all dangerous. It's a convicted, indicted felon that made it all up.
I know, yeah.
L. Ron Hubbard,
And then the simple-minded people that follow in there.
You know what's weird? He goes by L. Ron. Why wouldn't he use the first name Lafayette?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem odd.
it was just because he was just a pathetic person. I don't know what to say. Like L. Con Hubbard is what we call him. He was a total con.
Well, I gotta go to work tomorrow.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. What's going on? She's just like sniffing around.
Checking everything out. She may be small, but she starts to get heavy if you let her long enough.
Oh. I'm glad she got her little puffer.
Yeah, she had that's a lot more.
Oops. All right, you guys. Let's see. Let's see now where the bus comes. We don't want to miss it like yesterday because they really actually escaped. Hi.
Do you mind if we ask you a question?
Yeah,
For, like,
of course.
a video? Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Let me just try to find a good lighting spot.
Are you guys on TikTok or?
I'm on TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm barely starting an account.
Oh, cool. Are you guys locals in LA?
We're in South Central.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And I heard your story is very wow.
Oh, just here now or before?
No, I'm like all tuned in with
Oh,
everything.
you follow me on YouTube already?
Yes,
oh,
yes.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Alright,
So,
you ready?
got it plugged in?
Yeah, I got
Okay.
it. You're good.
Alright, let me just.
You're gonna ask or shoot? You're gonna.
I'm just.
You're just okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
So, what is the worst thing you've heard about Scientology or seen?
What I would say is, as a minor, I was brought here from another country. I had no idea what in the hell the rules were in this country. I was recruited to sign a billion-year contract at the age of 15.
I am so sorry, I did not press
Oh, no.
record.
Okay,
Holy crap! Okay,
we're just warming up.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Here, I'll ask the question. I'll hand it.
Okay, perfect.
Hold on, I don't know. Ready? What is the worst thing you've either heard or seen in Scientology?
One of the biggest problems that I realized I experienced is that my passport was locked away from me when I signed the contract to work for them. I was recruited at the age of 15, coming from another country, from Mexico. And I didn't know that locking up my passport against my will was a felony. And I only really kind of actually found out about that recently. They call the passports valuable documents. So as kids, all of our passports were being locked so that we wouldn't escape and so we wouldn't have a way to move because we were never allowed to ever move around. So our movement was completely constricted and they were exposing us to do things that children should never, ever, under any common sense, be exposed to be involved in. So I advocate for the plight of kids stuck in these hotels. They are the ones who cannot consent. They don't have the capacity to do so. And all Scientology audits are very, very dangerous to be exposing to children. Also, all Scientology so-called ethics handlings are horrible. And then the courses are also just as bad. They're all just grooming, disgusting things with dolls. Scientology has a big thing on dolls. Oh yeah, they have all their course rooms are filled with dolls. And all these scenarios and all these audits, you're being groomed to do it first on a doll. And you do it in a course room in front of everybody. So everything looks very academic and sort of like vanilla and not bad. And before you know it, you're so used to it all that you cannot spot a single red flag or you cannot know that this is what's happening. And especially as kids, these adults act very confident as if they know what in the hell they're talking about. And, it's taken me my whole life now to really reconcile the actual facts of what happened and what I was exposed to.
One question. What are your thoughts on the hormone location? They were putting families with sick children, kids with cancers. You know that they go over there. They go over there to the Vermont location. You know the Vermont location,
Yeah.
right? They come out there. They try to recruit families, who their children or grandchildren or cousin or family or friends or a friend of a family, just very sick children. They try to recruit those people. How do you feel that Scientology basically, takes advantage of that situation and be like, here?
What exact intel do you have on that? Well, have you guys been there and seen them recruiting them?
Yeah.
We're
Oh, yeah.
one of those parents.
Yeah.
Got it.
Our daughter, I don't want to get into it, but
Sure.
our daughter,
Just chronically.
yeah, she has a disorder, and
Sure.
and they tried using that as leverage,
To recruit you guys. To target you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, my thought is that it's absolutely unthinkable, and it's bad because they do run a con. They do really kind of sound like they know what they're talking about. They're very, very good at showing empathy and sympathy. It's all fake. All they want is to stick their fangs in you. Like, they are looking for a statistic. These people are running them 24/7. Where's your statistic? Where's your next person? You're just a number. You're just a statistic. So, it becomes a very dehumanizing situation. And I think it's very disgusting that that they are doing that at that Vermont location where you guys were targeted, because
Right across the street from the children's hospital.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and they've been doing it forever, and again, it's like
It's just normalized, but why? Like, it's so normalized. Scientology. Nobody...
Well, I would say we have, first of all, the corporate media to thank for that, because the corporate media has been whitewashing the problem for as long as they've been around. The corporate media, with all of their conflicts of interest that they have with all their celebrities, just starting with just that alone tells you how much power they've wielded, because they've literally used their celebrity people that they control to, cut deals with magazines, to bury stories, and to not talk about all the disgusting things being done to kids, because, nobody wants to realize that Tom Cruise is part of this at the literal highest level of this, right? We have, but it's a con, it's unthinkable, it's disgusting, and again, it's like, it's been made to be this whole thing about First Amendment, everyone can do whatever, and I'm all about it. If you're 21 and up, join. You want to do it? Do it. But going back to the point, it's like, if they're targeting so many kids, and we have that now on video that they're still doing that, right? I was targeted as a kid, 15 years old.
I'm a teen mom, so I'm a mother, but I was 16? I was 16.
16 years old, you guys. Well, I'm so sorry that they targeted you, and they look for vulnerable people. They're predators. That's what it's called. They're predatory. These are predatory tactics. They're not looking for the best interest of whoever they're trying to target, right? That's the pitch. Oh, we really want to help you. Oh, we really want to make you feel better and all this stuff. But, number one, they don't even know what in the hell they're talking about. L. Ron Hubbard, these courses. He was a total failure. He was a convicted, indicted felon, moreover, right? So in what world is a convicted, indicted felon going to write some books about what? You see what I'm saying? And he's being pitched as this American bred god. Are we really saying that a convicted, indicted felon is an American bred god? He's a god. He really wrote these books. They really make a lot of sense. It's all a sham. It's all a 501c sham, right? It's that's what in the hell they're called. They're called a 501c. You can have a nonprofit. There's millions of ways for you to have a valid nonprofit. This shit is not valid. Right? They're called. I was being called a volunteer at 15 years old with my passport locked up. Was I a volunteer? I don't think so. Do you know what I mean? We now check the laws. Now that we're adults, because that's the other thing that you said. What is the worst thing that they do? They adulticize children. They tell you, you're 16. Oh, but you're an ageless spirit. You've been around for literally millions and eons. This is just your body. Your body age means nothing. So just like that, they're like, oh, and as a teenager, that's very seductive, right? Because you're being told oh, I'm an adult. Oh, I'm very powerful.
And then you're like, oh, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, so it's all a fake power play to end up ensnared and in their clutches. And once you're in their clutches, they're dead bondaging you, because they're making you pay for courses. Every course they that you're getting for working for them for free is being charged to you on this invoice that you're not paying anything, but it does say that if you break the contract that you're going to owe this money. And that's, again, another human trafficking sign that is indefensible, has nothing to do with the First Amendment, has nothing to do with anything. It's just pure, sheer exploitation of humans and dehumanizing people. So, yeah, I'm sorry that happened to you guys.
Thank you. That
Of
was
course.
awesome.
Okay.
Would you like to have my TikTok so you could see yourself?
Yeah,
if
definitely.
anything?
Yeah.
Here you go. It's just Scientology, but spitology.
Spitology.
Spitology
I love
7.
it. I love it. We're
because everybody has been sitting on streets.
crimology. We're literally
I
coming up
know.
with nanology, like,
I know.
because it's
awesome.
really that ridiculous, you guys. Where's the search?
Jessica.
Yeah.
I just started that account, so
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's cool.
slowly starting to build it up and stuff. But thank you so much.
Yeah, but it's but thank you for raising awareness and helping
Yeah.
us as well.
Yeah, I'm trying. Like, I see the TikTok accounts of just like people making edits of the recruiters, like romanticizing them, and I'm like, where's the awareness? At least in the caption say, "Oh, Sebastian is in here because X, Y, and Z." But no, they're just like, "Oh, Sebastian," which.
Well, you know, it started like that. I think it started as a movement. I've been so inspired by all of these kids that have been here volunteering, you know, and I think it did start sort of like as a joke. It's, you know, because it was just kind of weird and, you know, odd and whatever. But again, it's like, it's great to have your experience on the record. It's great to have my experience on the record because all of our testimony is 100% valid. We saw what we saw. We experienced, you know, if you don't mind, how far did they get with you?
Oh, okay. So the first time I met, his name is Carrick. He's a light-skinned guy at the Blue Building. First time I met him, I was with my boyfriend, and he was like, "No, don't talk to him." But you know, at the time.
Oh, you told him.
Yeah. I didn't know what Scientology was at all.
Right.
So you know, I'm nice to them. I was nice to them, you know. So every time I would just go outside to just get out the hospital, Carrick would be there every day, and he would be so nice, and he would be, "Oh, your daughter is this? Wow, we can help you."
You should also state that they have recruiters at the corner of the hospital.
Oh yeah, like the literal corner.
Right outside.
Recruiters at the corner of the hospital, you guys, because Children's Hospital.
And so there was this one time my daughter was in a procedure early morning, and I just went by to go buy some Starbucks, and he was there, and he was like, with the movie tickets, "Oh, would you like to come watch the movie?" And I was like, I chit chat for a little bit, and I was like, sorry, I have to go, because I did tell him my daughter's in a procedure right now, so I have to go. And he was like, just 5 minutes, like it's insane how they do not give
They
a crap.
don't take a no for an answer. They don't care. It's like, you can tell them they have no embarrassment, like
none.
literally no shame.
None, and no feelings, no sympathy, no feelings.
Because they're after a statistic. Like, that's what's so sick. Like, that is actually what is so nauseating, right? Because like, you think like, oh my God, they really want to help you. Like, that's why he's so insistent. But he's gonna take you to the movie. If you get recruited, it's like, that's what I was talking about, Sebastian, right? It's like, because that's what was coming up on the other live, because all these people are like, oh, poor Sebastian, this and that. But it's like, we need to start asking how many kids underage did Sebastian bring and implicate and ensnare, because those are the questions that we need to understand, right? It's like, as you know, like, you at 16, you're so gullible, you're naive, you're not thinking like, so they told you to go to the movie.
Yeah, and I did recently. We were in the hospital recently, but you know, since I know what it is, I was still acting friendly, and so he took me to the movie, and I recorded the whole thing. It is the most manipulating thing ever. They make L. Ron Hubbard look like he's the perfectest man ever. Yeah. He's the perfectest man ever, and he can help you.
And it couldn't have been, such a bullshit pitch, because again, he died a convicted, indicted felon. He died in a trailer paranoid out of his literal mind. He was being chased by the FBI. He was being chased by all these authorities that needed to literally serve him papers. He was convicted and indicted in France, and then he went on the run. He had underage minors in his flotilla ship. I mean, L. Ron Hubbard is like Jeffrey Epstein on steroids.
Wow.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, he's just
Damn.
been enabled to just traffic as many kids as he wants, call it a religion, and just with that stupidity, right? Like, even if it's a con, but it's like we're in that point. It's like, and that's why I blame the corporate media, because they don't investigate anything. They just take everything completely glib.
I don't understand why though? Why do they allow Scientology?
Well, I mean, again, Scientology has had a lot of money, a lot of multi-millionaires that are funded this whole thing, right? Because, like, it is a millionaires club. I mean, just like Jeffrey and Ghislaine, right? Like, what was it? Tons of celebrities, tons of millionaires, tons of billionaires.
Is that why they had the celebrity center?
Yeah, to lure celebrities and to control celebrities and to, have power, right? Because they act like like a studio, like they're like a Paramount, right? Like, they have their talent, they have their this, they have the people that are working, they have and they're making films. Like, all the therapy sessions are filmed. Like, the so-called therapy sessions, the torture sessions are filmed.
Wow.
So even though they're just role-playing L. Ron Hubbard, whatever he said, it's all getting filmed. It's all getting filmed for no reason. So you know what I mean? It's all of that sort of like scam, So, but I'm glad you got them on tape. I mean, that's what we need. We need receipts.
I posted it on that.
You did?
account,
Okay,
yes.
I'm gonna say
I
it.
posted it.
I'll repost it for sure.
Yeah.
That's what the community needs. They need receipts. They need what in the hell they're doing.
And it's like some people are in denial. Not in denial. I had someone in my comments like, "Well, everybody knows Scientology is bad. So what?" And I'm like, "You're the problem."
Well, and that's what I've actually like really have said. It's like underage kids cannot consent.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
They're targeting underage kids.
Yeah.
So that's something that no one can argue against. Like, do we have to really worry about Sebastian to the point? Like, no, right? Like, if you're 25 and you want to do crazy ass things and you're all about it and you're consenting and you couldn't be more about it, no one's gonna come and rescue you. We don't have the bandwidth to go I mean, you guys have kids, you guys have real things. Like, no one has time to go take care of adults because they want to make bad decisions. I mean, come on, like, literally, like, it's called adulting. Like, make. Oh, hell no, you guys. Let's go find out what the LAPD is now coming about.
Sir, can I get a name and zip code? 44606. Thank you, sir. LAPD's here, guys.
LAPD again, you guys, because they have nothing better to do than come here. They have nothing better to do. Again and again and again and again.
No, we didn't call, sir. What's going on, D? What happened?
Totally a group with guns.
Huh?
Totally a group with guns.
Oh, a guy made a threat that he said he was coming for guns. To us to us. You guys? I don't know who called, but. Yeah, so why did you call? Well, I didn't call. He showed the gun on Facebook Live. But you never saw that person right there. He was here earlier, yeah. Did you have a gun on him? No. But I think the guy who called you from the corner.
God.
I didn't make a call. Forget security. Hey, did you guys call or see anybody with a gun or anything?
Did you guys see anybody with a gun or anything?
No.
You gotta be careful. You almost ran over that pedestrian down the street.
That's crazy. I can't believe they're wasting your time, you guys.
Threat of a gun, guys. That's a threat of a gun. Rumors. You gotta look for rumors.
Somebody from the live show.
Rumors. Something rumors.
Yeah, probably from the live.
Hell no, you guys. More stuff. Look at this chat, you guys. Oh my god.
It's nice talking to you.
So
Thank
nice
you.
to talk to you.
Thank you. Thank you for your story and everything.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing your story as well.
Thank you.
Say hi to everybody. What's up, guys? Check out my fit. Check out my swag.
You gotta get the whole.
Little swag over here. This is the swaggeroony.
The loot.
The loot.
I know.
Ooh.
I know. They're about to move right now.
I can't. So hard. Hold on.
So easy.
They're like,
I was telling her.
they know who
Yeah, sorry.
they know exactly who you are.
Sorry. Oh, shit.
Is it legal to like
No. Matter of fact, you don't need a press check. Every person out here filming is a member of the press. According to LAPD policy, the LAPD's own policy since 2001, since the Echo Park protest when they locked up a bunch of journalists, they now treat anybody as a member of the press if you self-identify as press. So, while we're out here doing these protests, if you're out here streaming, if you're out here taking pictures,
TikTok is
she's
part
taking
of the press.
pictures, she's a member of the press. She's
TikTok
documenting
is
what's
press.
going on.
YouTube is press. I mean, it's just all live. It's dead. It's like an autograph today is a selfie is the new
Okay, you
autograph.
guys.
Selfies in a
It is. I mean, nobody asks for an autograph anymore. They just want a
Yay.
selfie.
We're here with streets. We're good. We're Gucci.
Yeah.
Did you ever get her food?
No, she never got that food.
The guy never gives her?
They got one
Some
of the
delivery.
deliveries guy almost got in a fight with the Fat Joe Bob.
Say
Hi,
hi.
guys.
Hi, guys.
You know, the one that jumped up kid. Yeah.
The whole gang's here.
Yeah,
And but other than that, the guy calmed down. He stayed away. You kept trying to get inside Scientology, and they were opening the door, and he just wouldn't give it the food up. Yeah, they're gonna testify every time. When it comes up junk, they're probably gonna be a little worried. I would sit there for a minute if I was I think since
I think this is
I'm looking at every car that goes by. Because I saw one of the cars leaving out of the gate. It looked like
My
a
dad
police car.
hears me.
Yeah, and then they went down the alleyways trying to hide.
My dad's in
Get home safely. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye bye. So yeah, let's see what's over here. What are you guys saying? Hi Liz, how are you? Good to see you. At what point are they gonna, I don't know you guys, at what point are they gonna stop playing dumb, these people, this LAPD? But I think they were here because of that threat to us, so at least somewhat for that, right? Let's see, yeah. So, what are those kids? No, that's enough. So yeah, you guys, I mean, it's very good that we are talking to so many people in the community, and that interview that I just did with that girl, the last one, it kind of has me a little shook, I'm not gonna lie. Imagine Scientology targeting a teen mom, a 16-year-old with special needs child that was roped in to go do whatever in the hell they were having her do in that organization by the Children's Hospital. And just like the fact that she was talking about how that recruiter was there constantly and always like, oh yeah, here's a ticket, come see the free movie. And then, but that's what's good about these kids, at least you guys, 16 years old, and she took it up on herself to record everything they were doing with her. So she's got it all on tape. And that's what we need. We need tapes, we need receipts, we need evidence, irrefutable evidence, so that no one can continue to play dumb with us. You know, a lot of playing dumb around here with these people, as we know. But another successful street audit. So I think we're gonna pack up our audit of the day. You guys have already been here for almost 2 hours. Damn. See, guys, time flies when you're having so much fun. So much fun. Oh, look, more LAPD. Wonder what these ones are doing over here. Or is it the same ones? Maybe it's the same ones. I did have to park farther away today because it's Sunday and Hollywood is really busy. So, yeah, I wonder how it's gonna go when Aaron gets here, you guys. He already posted that he was gonna pay a little visit on Friday, so let's see how it goes for Aaron. Because he definitely has to be jealous of our lives here, which are a lot more lively than dead AF Clearwater, right? Thank you guys. Exactly. Well, Y'all are here, so that's what keeps us feeling comfortable and confident to be here. So ain't nobody gonna want to watch anyone with us that have our back. See that, Osa? So many people have our back, and so few people have y'all's. Inside of that disgusting hotel, they could give a shred of an F about your back. In fact, Osa, you really want to think about your options right about now, since we did find out that you locking up our passports as minors is actually a very, very, very horrible crime that you did do. That you can't claim that you were very, very religious situationship, right? Let's see. Um, I'm virtually. Thank you guys. Becky. Yes, Julie, it is a federal crime. It is a federal, literal crime, but something that has not really gotten in any of the public's consciousness yet. Um, but we're getting there. We are getting there, and there's a lot of very, very good activists that we're meeting in these protests, like Audit LA. She knows what in the hell she's talking about, you guys. Like, you can tell that these people that are activists, that know how to work that bureaucracy that we need to work against or with, a little bit of both. We have to work with the bureaucracy and we have to work against it too, because we really have to tear apart all the lies that Scientology has planted and compromised all of these, you know, um, just all of these government agencies that couldn't be more compromised. I mean, you know, and again, it's like, when was any of this going to change if none of this is getting called out? If, we don't literally now have another reason to keep protesting, since we just found out that 16-year-old girl was being targeted. And imagine that she would have fallen for it, you guys. Imagine that she just goes, well, they really want to help me, and I have a problem with my daughter, and she is special needs, so maybe I should use some of these techniques that they're telling me are really going to work. But give it up to the youth that they are smelling the rat, and having so many people tune in all at once is only increasing the message. Really, really is just increasing the message. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know why that happened with this gun threat, and apparently, like, somebody showed it something on a live or something. But I think, like, Osa, your pathetic threats couldn't be more pathetic. Selling us fear was your go-to method. Selling us fear. We should really be afraid. Scientology, the almighty Scientology that can violate every law and never be held accountable. That ended for you, Osa, in this year 2024. Not in the year 2023, guys, but in the year 2024, we are done. Did you ever pay the $78,000 I did Cinderella. I didn't pay the full 78,000 because they were like, "Oh, we'll give you a deal. We'll give you a deal. Just pay us." I think we ended up paying like close to 45,000. So it was still a lot. They made me put it all on credit cards. I mean, imagine I had just finished being in the Sea Org, and they made me put it all on credit cards, and then I had to like work my ass off for like years to pay off the credit cards. You guys, it's just like the debt bondage was real, and so was the exploitation, the child exploitation in there. And I am glad that we're being able to talk to the TikTok people directly that, are all love struck with Sebastian because, you know, like I said to those girls, like you can say the little girl that spoke to us at the end, she was frustrated about the whole like save Sebastian thing and blah blah blah, but it had to start somewhere, so it did, right, guys? It had to start somewhere, and now we're here. Look at us. This what It's been like what, a month and a half since these protests started there at that center, and we did find out for ourselves that they are sending the recruiters from here, you guys, to MacArthur Park. Imagine being Scientology people that are working in this location, and you get sent to MacArthur Park. You guys, I don't know how many of you are locals in LA or know LA, but MacArthur Park is full of shady people, and it's just not a safe place to be. I'll tell you that much. And that's where you go. It's like, really, Scientology? You really want to recruit a lot of people from MacArthur Park? Like, who are they recruiting, you guys? Who are they pressed to recruit for MacArthur Park? I'll tell you who. Free slave labor. That's who. That's what. You know, that's who gets grabbed out of MacArthur Park. Just more desperate people that can be told, "Oh my God, all your problems will go away as soon as you start really becoming part of our team." But little do they know that that's when the actual initiation actually starts. When you get made part of that team, that dirty, dirty, dirty team. So we're there with Streets. We're there with Jessica, who had a great birthday yesterday. Um, so that's really, really good. And we're getting a lot more people that want to find out and have just so many questions. I mean, you saw from Audit LA how thirsty for answers people are. They need to find the answer. They've been dealing with the scourge of these hotels in their city for how long? And again, right, like I told Audit LA, as long as um, as long as we're advocating and trying to get Sebastian out and people that consented to be a part of this, that's never gonna work. Never ever gonna work. But we can grab our bats and hammer them to be those advocates for the kids that are stuck in there. There's plenty of kids stuck in there, and there's plenty of Scientology parents exposing their kids to the unthinkable, guys, to the real unthinkable and indefensible. If you're able to catch my live, it went long. You guys, it literally went long. I've been live for 5 hours today total. I'm like, oh my God, I think I'm feeling a little delirious. But, it's all good. It's all Gucci. Osa. We're not tired. We are not hungry. We couldn't be more satisfied with auditing your buildings and talking to more literal victims of yours, right? Hi, One Love 51000. I saw that Murph band. Yeah, um, he was. Drive safely, Serge. Yes, hands free, you guys. Hands free. Yeah, so that's crazy that he was showing that stuff on his live. And it can be interesting to be in these things. I even thought today, I'm like, I wonder if we should be wearing like bulletproof vests, to be honest. You know, just to be extra safe. But pretty much like what LA Streets said, you guys, these are paper tigers. They act all, oh, we're OSA, we're really gonna come and do very, very bad stuff to you. It's all BS. OSA, bring it on. We can't wait to catch you red-handed. Because when we catch you red-handed, a full-blown criminal investigation is gonna be done. A full-blown criminal investigation, OSA. So, you know, the days when y'all could literally go and break into people's homes and burn people's homes and kill people's pets, the level of scrutiny that you're into right now, Osa, just so you know, in case you're too stupid to notice, the level of scrutiny that y'all are under is un-MF precedented. And you guys, it's actually, and I was just talking about this with Michael the other day, that I've never felt safer because I've never been more exposed. It was not safe for me when I could have literally disappeared out of the universe and nobody would have known anything about what in the hell I was doing or why or anything. Scientology would have so many humongous problems for itself if anything were to happen to any of us. So also the advice that you couldn't be under more scrutiny, and we don't give a shred of an F about you being or acting lawless because we will catch you. We got cameras everywhere. We got security systems, we got alarms, and we got him in all kinds of places that you wouldn't even know. But that's what's so great, you guys. When you're an adult in an adult body, you can literally protect yourself. And that's all you do, you know, protect yourself and speak from the heart and continue to um, contribute to this movement. I mean, I don't think I've ever protested so much in my life. Because literally, really protesting a lot. And it's like, I cannot even stand it. Like by the time 7:30, 8 o'clock rolls around, sometimes I'm saying like, oh my God, I can't even go today. I think I'm like, I've had enough. But then as soon as I see the lives of the kids, I'm like, oh, hell no, I need to go. FOMO. So if y'all want to come to LA and join us, by all means, everyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome to come, you guys. Julie B, I'm an old protester from the 70s. Well, shout out to you, Julie B. We need OGs. We need OGs, you guys, to protest as well. We need people that know what in the hell they are doing. Um, but yeah, we heard that the Scientology is dispersing all of these staffers to either MacArthur Park, or they're also trying to send them to this other place, uh, South Central LA by the Compton Mission, Compton Org. So Scientology doesn't want their staffers idle for even one day. So they're definitely going to be trying to go to other shady locations where, they don't know that we are. But even that's not going to work, because we're going to continue auditing this testing center. And already some kids are really about finding where else they're going. So the kids are on an egg hunt for crooked Scientology street recruiters that, as you heard today, they aren't interested in helping people, you guys. Those recruiters are interested in ensnaring kids, including but not limited to underage. Y'all catch the three Latin guys that were there. They were 18, but 18 is still real young, you guys. 18 is so young. I mean, those kids look gullible and naive, but also like they have their little street smarts. So they didn't fall for it, but they told us all about how they were literally being followed. No, come. They don't take no for an answer. These people never take no for an answer, you guys. And that's how it is at the beginning. And for people, it almost can make them really fall, because they feel so much attention on them, and they feel like, oh, I must be so special for them to really like me, and that's what they're looking for. They're looking to create that effect on whoever they're targeting, because if they really are able to create that effect, then boom, they get a statistic, and then boom, they get to count that statistic, and then what? They got the statistic, they ensnared another person into this hotel trafficking operation, and what do they have to show for themselves? Nothing. They have $50 to show for themselves. So again, this is a scam in reverse. In reverse, you guys. Like, they're so sure that they're doing the right thing, but yet they're doing always the wrong thing. Whenever any of L. Ron Hubbard's proteges are instituting L. Ron Hubbard's protocols, everything goes to literal hell. So I'm glad that we're able to, start getting that word out on the streets, and that we're able to direct more people to our content, so that they can start learning with all of us into the weeds. Because that was also a big takeaway of today. The more we educate the community, the more they are clear on what the purpose is and how to go about it. So we're all about the clear messaging, you guys. So I really want to thank you all for all of your support and being with us today, and auditing, doing lots of audits, you guys. In Scientology, if we would have done 5.5 hours, we would be upstat, you guys. So all of you are upstat, because today we did that. 5.5 hours on YouTube Live and on this audit. We are up statistic. So take that, OSA. All right, you guys, have a great, wonderful rest of your Sunday, if you're still on Sunday. And for y'all that are on Monday, we'll see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye.